Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Chill Out podcast. I'm your host, and last week I didn't post a new episode because, due to some unforeseen circumstances, I literally couldn't. And I'm about to explain everything in this episode. I know what you're thinking. A crazy story. Maybe you're being a bit dramatic, but I'm not. Last week was like such a crazy week for me, and I'm keen for us to catch up. I wanted to kind of like switch it up this week and do a story time so that I can kind of share an experience that literally changed my perspective and really helped me to break certain bad habits. So, yeah, we're doing something different this week. Enjoy. So, usually my life is consistently not that interesting, which is surprisingly perfectly fine for me. Like, I like peace, I like calmness, and I like drama-free energy. So when I usually send good vibes for the week ahead on like a Sunday evening before I'm about to go to bed, I normally wouldn't expect the week to actually be a crazy one. So let's start with last week Monday when all of this literally started. I woke up and I was in so much pain. Like, I can't even explain it to you guys. Like, the whole bottom part of my mouth was extremely sore, and I was experiencing slight pain over that weekend, like already. However, I thought by like rinsing it with warm salt water and like taking some pain pills, it would just magically go away and be nothing. And oh boy, was I wrong. Okay, on that Monday, I showered, got dressed, got in my car, and I drove straight to the pharmacy to get some stronger pain pills because the ones that I was taking clearly weren't doing its job. And it was extremely painful, and I was like hurting so much, like I just wanted to cry. And I got recommended this tooth pain liquid, which I highly do not recommend, which honestly was so disgusting and absolutely useless. So whoever suggested that for me at the pharmacy, like, seriously, that was the worst suggestion I've ever gotten. So anyways, later that night, I was like, okay, the longer I wait, the worse it's going to be. Clearly, me self-medicating just isn't working out for me. Like, I need to research dentist options. And the last time I've been to the dentist, guys, was probably when I was in high school. And my mom made my dentist booking, and like she sorted all of that stuff out. So having to do that now at the age of 29, like, it's ridiculous. Okay, the fact that I haven't been to the dentist since. And it is kind of scary to think about going to the dentist because, like, you know that you're going to be in pain or they're going to find something. But at this point, I needed to rather, exhaust all of my options, which I did, and, just kind of bite the bullet and like just book an appointment at the dentist and get this sorted out. So crazy. So anyways, on the Tuesday, I booked an appointment with the dentist because the pain was just like so unbearable. It was terrible. I was literally thinking to myself, why me? How can this be happening when I have such a busy week ahead? And I have a friend's birthday dinner, which I'm planning. Like, I suggested it. I wanted to do it. Like, this cannot be happening right now. Like, that's the kind of thoughts that were like going through my mind. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, so it's my friend's birthday this week. I literally made a booking reservation for like a dinner. I can't cancel. Like, I feel so terrible right now. Like, I do not feel well. I don't know how I'm going to be at the end of the week. Like, why is this happening? I was so stressed out, but I figured that I'll go to the dentist, I would get some injection for the pain, and like bam, everything is good. So I get to the dentist, chilled guy. He checks my mouth and my teeth. We do some x-rays. There's clearly only pain on like the one bottom section of my mouth, which turns out to be like an abscess that's like slowly forming, or like some infection that's like slowly forming from the actual root of my gum. And hearing this didn't freak me out as much as you would think it would. I just felt like peace knowing that I at least knew what was happening, because the last 2 nights I've been Googling tooth pain because that's what I thought it was, but it wasn't. It was a much deeper issue. And now that I got some meds to like sort it out, I was like so happy. I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to take this. I am going to feel okay the next day. I have work. I need to go. So the doctor prescribes me some antibiotics and pain medication. I'm like so stoked because I have a lunch date at like 12 p.m. I'm going to make it. I still have time to get my prescription, have some good food, take my meds, and then my mouth will finally stop hurting so much. How naive of me, okay? First of all, my lunch date is at one of my favorite places ever, Kauai. Okay, I ordered my favorite vegan smoothie and falafel and like avocado wrap. It's honestly amazing. It's like my happy place. But I couldn't even finish the other half of the wrap. Like, do you know how big that is for me? Like, it's my favorite place. That's one of my favorite meals of like all time. And I couldn't finish it. I eventually went home. I put my takeaway bag on my kitchen counter, put the heater on because it was like super cold and rainy that day, put on some sweatpants, got under my blanket, and like tried to get some sleep. I think I slept for like an hour. I got up, tried to eat something, couldn't stomach anything, felt so gross and unwell, and ended up getting back into bed until the next morning. And instead of my optimistic brain being like, sweet, like I'm getting my medication, I'll take them, get some sleep, and then I'll be perfectly fine tomorrow. No, I ended up being in bed for like 2 days straight. In such pain, guys, feeling so unwell and literally contemplating life. Like, how did I get here? I didn't even watch TV for like those 2 days because I just couldn't bear like looking at a screen or like seeing the light, which is rare because watching TV for me is something I love to do. It sometimes is such a relaxing, chill thing for me to do. And I just literally couldn't stare at any screen. Like I felt weak. I felt terrible, and I was in such pain that I couldn't even eat properly. And at the end of day 3, I finally started feeling better. My mouth was becoming less painful, and I felt like a human being again. But something I realized while I was lying in bed for those 2 days was the fact that I need to take care of my body better. Like those are the types of thoughts were like going on in my mind. Like I was constantly being fixated on those thoughts. I'm like, I need to start taking care of my body. I started reevaluating all of the bad habits that I tend to do in my life. And I was like, no, things need to change. Like, how can you feel so terrible and so guilty at the same time because you know you're not taking care of yourself? So I decided in that moment that, you know what, things have to change. And I need to prioritize good health and I need to trust my gut like the first time. Like if something feels wrong, take action immediately and like go to the dentist immediately instead of trying to sort it out on my own. That is something I realized because I always try and like self-medicate or like try and solve the issue on my own. But sometimes you need help. Sometimes it's better to just go directly to the doctor, like the dentist, for example, and like just get it sorted out. And not being able to eat proper food like allowed me to not only cleanse my mind, but have the time to cleanse my body and be more aware of what I was putting into my body. And I didn't have coffee for like 5 days, which was great. Like I think today was the first time I had a cappuccino in like 5 days. And I was just trying to like listen to what my body needs. And it kind of allowed me to sleep easier at night instead of like downing so many cups of coffee. And I was able to get good sleep and I was waking up feeling more refreshed instead of like overly tired like I normally do. I just got like the biggest wake up call from that painful experience of last week. Like last week was just crazy. And I was just shown how valuable taking care of yourself is. And I don't mean to say this in like a preachy type of way. This is purely my experience and the perspective that I gained from it. And I just thought to myself, I can't live life like this. Just kind of gliding through on autopilot, like being lazy and like not feeding myself better. Because when our overall health is good, when we practice better habits on a daily basis, we feel better. And isn't that like the whole point? Like we want to feel better so we can live a happier existence, so we can wake up every day with energy. And we want to work towards our respective goals. And the only way we can do that is when we feel our best. So sometimes we can't really change the bad that happens, but we can do whatever it takes to change the outcome and how we respond to it and what we are going to do with the lesson from that experience. So yes, I felt sorry for myself, okay, for like a day or two. But then I started realizing, you know what, I actually feel really bad for my body. Like I really need to kind of like take this time and reevaluate certain things, like try and be a bit more healthier, try and be a bit more mindful about what I put into my body and how I treat my body, and rather focus on nourishing it and like making sure that it's okay and that I make the effort to go to the dentist on a regular basis or go to the doctor for a checkup and make sure that I'm in optimum like health, if you know what I mean. So you're probably like, oh, boo-hoo, Kelly, toothache. Seriously, you being so dramatic. The thing is, I would never wish that type of pain on anyone. I can't even describe it than explaining it as being like punched in the jaw like 100 times and having no pain meds to help you. It was like a throbbing pain, so terrible. I feel like everything in life happens for a reason, and we can either ignore the lessons that we learn from our experiences, whether big or small, or we can take those lessons, learn from them, and choose growth. And while laying in bed last week, I felt helpless. I was in pain. Every time I tried getting out of bed, I felt weak. And I just gained so much more appreciation in that moment for my health. And I like vowed that I would be more mindful about certain things. And thinking back to that episode that I did with Demi about exiting your lazy girl era and like documenting how I was in such a depressive funk for more than like 2 months. I would go to work, I would come home, I would just do the bare minimum because I was mentally exhausted. I had no motivation. I felt like I just wanted the day to end. And I feel like that's such a sad way to live life, in my opinion, and just getting out of that eventually and getting out of that mindset that I was in, and then going through such a crazy week that I had where things were out of my control and I just had to focus on healing myself and just getting, through the pain that I was in, and then eventually getting through that. That was kind of like a really sweet testament to myself that, you know what, I am strong enough to overcome a tough situation. I am able to take care of myself. I am proud to be an independent woman. I know that I am fully capable of being there for me and getting back up again. So I feel like sometimes we go through things to teach us something we need. I really wanted to share this story with you because I'm someone who enjoys looking for the bright side in situations or the silver lining to a gray cloud, even if it's annoying to some people. And it's a quality I admire in myself, and I wanted to share it with you. And the reason why I wanted to kind of explain it to you is that sometimes things are hard in the moment, but this too shall pass. So keep your head high and keep moving. And I feel like because I was in such a routine, and obviously for those other 2 months when I was in a funk and I wasn't doing that great and I was doing the bare minimum, sometimes you just get fixated on that specific routine and that monotonous way of living. And you forget to take a second, slow down, reevaluate things in your life, and like take inventory of like things that are serving you and things that aren't serving you. And like trying to incorporate new things and trying to show more appreciation for certain things. And I feel like that really came to me last week during that whole midst of chaos, because I was forced to literally lay in bed and just think and just heal and slow down and break away from like that normal, boring, consistent, bare minimum mindset. So I feel good now, okay? And I'm going to make the most of it. I'm feeling good. And I'm definitely feeling much better than I did before. And I'm being more mindful now about the things that I put into my body and like how I treat myself. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this story time this week. I had to share it with you because I just gained so many like little golden nuggets that I wanted to share with you. And it's a funny story too. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed like listening to my painful story. So thank you guys so much for listening. I love hanging out with you. Don't forget to check out my YouTube channel. New videos every Monday. I also have a book. It's called Bright Days Ahead. It is available on Amazon. As always, guys, I love hanging out with you. So definitely follow the podcast on Spotify, subscribe on Apple, do all of those good things. New episodes every Wednesday, and have an amazing week, okay? Have an amazing weekend. We'll catch up again. Thank you for the support. I love you. Ciao.